Ajinkya, welcome on YourPedia.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. How are you?
Okay, I'm wonderful, Ajinkya, and thanks a lot for sparing time for this interaction. And Ajinkya, you got selected in Germany in e-mobility, masters for e-mobility in Erlangen FAU, that is MS course in e-mobility. So you're
Yes, sir.
mechanical engineer, and I'll be interacting with you to know a couple of things like what are the opportunities for students of India in German universities, especially after public universities have started charging fees from Indian students.
Yes, sir.
There are so many misunderstandings and misconceptions among students, and I'm very sure through interaction with you, a lot of information they will get, and that will help them to take a right decision for them. So, Ajinkya, I welcome you, and I start my interaction with your background. Please tell us which part of India you are from, and from where you've done your graduation in mechanical engineering. And I'm very sure after graduation you must have followed some path. You must have prepared for a couple of exams and all. So please share with us your entire journey.
Okay, so sir, as you said, my name is Ajinkya Sathe. I am from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from National Institute of Technology, Raipur. So in 2023, I graduated from my college, and then in July 23, I joined Gemco Limited, which is a CK Birla company.
Mhm.
So I have been working with that company since past 9 months. So I have a 9 month work experience. I'm currently working in Korba, Chhattisgarh. So SECL is our customer, and we are supplying 240-ton dumpers to that SECL. So
Mhm.
I have a mechanical management related job currently and in the mining industry.
Mhm.
Uh, and as you asked, like when did I start preparing for exams and all? So,
Mhm.
sir, during my third year, I realized that I have to go for MS abroad.
Mhm.
So I started preparing slowly. I tried to gather information, but in fourth year, I realized two things. That firstly, I am not getting enough time to go for MS applications and all.
Mhm.
Secondly, the many colleges were asking for at least 1 year of work experience, and some work experience they want. And
Mhm.
luckily, I got a placement in a mechanical, specifically a automotive related field. And this is the
Okay.
field I wanted to go in MS as well. So I
Mhm.
decided to do the job.
Mhm.
And then when I was in my job in, I think, October, November during the 2023 year, I realized that now I have to focus on application again because application deadline will start from the March 24. So then I was actually a student of YourPedia from 223, but
Okay.
again,
Mhm.
in the third year, but again, I
Mhm.
contacted Sayam sir and
Mhm.
Kailash sir and everyone. And
Mhm.
then I started preparing applications and then this journey with the MS and with YourPedia.
Okay. So Ajinkya, you are NIT Raipur graduate, and
Yes, sir.
can you share with us your CGPA in BTech?
Yes, sir. My CGPA was 8.88.
Okay, 8.88. So NIT graduate, CGPA 8.88, even if you don't write exam like GATE, you get a ticket to join any premium institute for higher education in India. But in third year, you decided that no, I would like to go abroad. I want your perspective on that because there will be so many students who are confused whether they should do it from India, they should do it from abroad. And you are the right person whom I can ask this question that why in third year you decided at the first place कि मेरे को इंडिया में नहीं मेरे को बाहर से एमएस करना है.
Okay, sir. So this is like my perspective, what I was thinking about myself, because for me going abroad unnecessarily was not the decision कि बस मेरे को
Yes.
बाहर जाना है. So sir,
हाँ.
my passion for automobile was from really very initial stages of my career. Like
हम्म,
in 11th, 12th, I was like, कि I want to build career in vehicle and automotive something.
हम्म,
But then I realized that in India, IIT and NITs don't offer courses in automotive engineering.
हम्म,
So I was like, fine, I'll go with the mechanical engineering and then I'll see
हम्म,
what I can do in this field.
हम्म,
Then when I realized that even after GATE, when I go for MTech in Indian universities, they're offering
हम्म,
courses like design, thermal, industrial. So the
okay.
courses are very much topic based. They are not the industry based. So
हम्म,
when I want to go for courses are industry based, like जैसे
हम्म,
ऑटोमोटिव इंजीनियरिंग हुआ, फिर सस्टेनेबल इंजीनियरिंग हुआ, एरोस्पेस इंजीनियरिंग हुआ, उसका बहुत ज्यादा सर अवेलेबिलिटी मेरे को इंडिया में मिला नहीं. सो जब व्हेन आई
हम्म,
डिसाइडेड कि मेरे को ऑटोमोटिव इंजीनियरिंग में
हम्म,
जाना है,
हम्म,
आई
हम्म,
थॉट दैट आई विल गो फॉर एमएस अब्रॉड. And
Hmm.
then when I was shortlisting the countries,
Hmm.
I had two in option because Germany is like we all say that Germany is
Hmm.
heaven for mechanical and automotive engineers, but
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
USA is a very good option.
Hmm.
But there were certain things like firstly the fee structure,
Okay.
then
Hmm.
the flexibility to do work after I graduate.
Hmm.
So all these things made me fix on Germany and MS support.
Wonderful. So if I'm to summarize like a couple of things, your inclination for automotive things, automobile and automotive things, and second, your identification and your search for specialization courses in India, and you used a very important term like theoretical knowledge versus practical knowledge, like theoretical learning versus experimental or practical learning. तो वो हमारे इंडियन सिस्टम का एजुकेशन सिस्टम का एक क्रिटिसिज्म भी है. मोर फोकस ऑन
Yes, sir.
थ्योरी, लेस फोकस ऑन प्रैक्टिकल लर्निंग, हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस. तो वो एक दूसरा एस्पेक्ट था आपका. एंड थर्ड वाज लाइक व्हाई नॉट यूएस, व्हाई जर्मनी, वाज लाइक फी स्ट्रक्चर. सो दीज
Yes,
थिंग्स मेक everything crystal clear why you decided to go first place at there. And Ajinkya, you're very right. Yesterday I was going through one news that Tesla is coming to India, and April May
yes, sir.
Elon Musk can announce that Tesla is now coming to India, and that is a big opportunity for Elon Musk also and India also.
Yes, sir.
And then I started thinking that what it brings to Indian students who are graduating next couple of years. So it brings to the conclusion that okay, e-mobility को boost मिलेगा. And then I started looking because post grad counseling भी चल रहा है, and we are aware about, I mean, where are these courses. And I found like IIT गुवाहाटी में e-mobility, या किसी IIT इंदौर में इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स, ऐसे एक दो कोर्सेज हैं. बट व्हेन आई वेंट इन डीप इनटू दैट, तो यू राइटली वट एवर यू सेड कि वो बहुत पुराने नहीं है, वो एक साल दो साल. माई ओन फ्रेंड
हाँ,
प्रवीण इज हेडिंग दिस ई मोबिलिटी इन आईआईटी गुवाहाटी. वो
okay.
आईआईटी, वो जर्मनी से ही पीएचडी करके आए थे. पहले उन्होंने आईआईटी दिल्ली से एनर्जी स्टडीज में मास्टर्स किया, देन वेंट टू जर्मनी, एंड देन फ्रॉम देयर ही केम टू आईआईटी गुवाहाटी. अभी बेस उतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है. सो वट एवर यू सेड दैट इज मेकिंग सेंस टू मी, कि बात वो बिल्कुल सही है कि उसी तरीके से है. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन अजिंक्य, एंड दैट इज especially mechanical engineers, when they think of going for automobile sector, they think of Germany at the first place. Iska kya
Yes, sir.
reason ho sakta hai? Is it like historically their good infrastructure they have developed, or what is the reason, like whenever people think of automotive domains, they think of Germany? What is the reason for that?
So first, so you said that infrastructure because when we hear automotive, I'll tell you one like very quick fact. Like I have been selected in in a college which is in a university which is based in Bavaria state. And the
Hmm.
three like when a particular Indian gets a little more amount of money, he goes for three car companies: Audi, Mercedes, BMW.
Hmm.
All three are based on in the Bavaria state in Germany.
Okay, very
Then
close to
there
the
are
university where you're going, huh?
exactly so like
Hmm.
these companies when we think of if they are based there the working opportunity is there and not just these companies sir actually what happens is like they may not take directly MSc students to work in these companies in the higher post but we can always work for the smaller companies the startups the companies which supplies parts to these big companies
Hmm.
बिकॉज BMW का हर पार्ट BMW नहीं बना रहा है बट BMW
Hmm.
का वो पार्ट जो बाकी कंपनी बना रही है वो भी जर्मनी में ही बेस्ड है
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
they are doing
Achha.
R&D there so this is a very big inclination and then
Hmm.
secondly sir, I'd say that research is a very high priority thing in Germany. So
Hmm.
when we talk about MSc as well, people are so involved in research that sometimes they think that they have to definitely go for PhD. कि job को option ही नहीं रहेगा. This is not a case, but research
Hmm.
is a very like in their blood. So that
Hmm.
are the two things which motivate students to go to
Hmm.
Germany.
अच्छा, जब हम बात करते हैं आर एन डी की, और हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का अपना आर एन डी है. ये जो बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज हम देखते हैं अजिंक्य, दे आर बिकॉज ऑफ देयर आर एन डी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स ओनली. वी टॉक अबाउट माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, और वी टॉक अबाउट गूगल, वी टॉक अबाउट टेस्ला. देन देयर इज अ ह्यूज आर एन डी. But the another fact is, whenever these companies set up their plant or their offices in India, their R&D wings are still in their own native places, their own home countries, not in countries like India or China. So, and when we talk about R&D, we find that people with this specialization or super specialization like masters and PhD, they are valued more. तो ये जो इंडिया के अंदर है ना कि सब एमटेक तब करना है अगर बीटेक में नौकरी ना लगे, और पीएचडी तब करना जब एमटेक में नौकरी ना लगे. इज दिस परसेप्शन डिफरेंट इन दोस कंट्रीज?
यस सर, एक्चुअली इट इज बिकॉज पहली बात तो सर वहां पे पीएचडी को भी नौकरी ही कंसिडर करते हैं, यू गेट पेड एज इक्विवेलेंट एज एमएससी.
Yes.
Big India, mein, I don't get these perceptions because even when I told people that I may go for PhD after MSc, they're like, do the job, earn the money.
Ah,
So I had to explain them that I'll earn money in any way. So secondly, the point which you asked that after in India, the companies are going for the R&D part in their own country. So this has very much to do with the formal education. For example, I am studying in India. I do the BTech, MTech, everything in India. I will not be having the formal education in automotive sector. So that is a very important. That is what mattered to me as well, sir.
Wonderful. Now, Ajinkya, I was going through the entire system of education of Germany. Uh, I realized that like India has a certain system, like we have old IITs, new IITs, NITs. Something similar to that I found in Germany in the form of technical universities, TUs.
Yes, sir.
I found 17 university, and then I found 9 universities,
Yes, sir.
technical universities, which are focusing more on STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So they're more focusing on that. So they are prestigious universities for science and technology. I want you to tell all the viewers here, students who are listening to us, what are technical universities in Germany?
Okay, so sir, firstly, technical universities is, as the name suggests, they are the universities which are focusing on the technical aspect, the engineering aspect of the things.
Mhm.
Then, when I tell about the TU9, so TU9, more than ranking, what we should think TU9, it is the atmosphere, it is the bubble which they have formed. That the TU9 is exactly a collaboration of these 9 top universities in Germany. So they
Mhm.
will help grow each other grow.
Mhm.
The student from one university can do projects in another. They can
Mhm.
do PhD in another university. So they help each other. And finally,
Mhm.
they are building the economy in Germany. They are building the research environment in Germany. So that
Mhm.
is TU9.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if I go to other technical universities as well,
Mhm.
like they are not considered TU9, so that doesn't mean they are bad. That doesn't mean they are not ranked highly.
Mhm.
The only thing matters is they are not part of that environment which TU9 have created.
Mhm. So, Germany must be having lot of good universities, you mean to say, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to share my screen here with you. Jinke, I was just noting down these universities. I found these universities, 17 universities. So all these 17 universities are TU universities only, Ajinkya?
Yes, sir. All these are TU. Yes, sir.
Okay, and somebody who is not aware about the rankings and all, how he should demarcate among these 17?
Okay, so very superficial way of looking at is that you can go to the QS ranking because
Okay.
if for example,
Mm.
TU Munich and RWD's Aachen are very high up in QS ranking.
Okay.
If we talk about Germany itself,
Mm-hmm.
so that matters at the end of the day. Something is good there. Similarly, we can go for the THE ranking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So these
Okay.
are two things we can see. But apart from ranking, what matters is the course which
Mm-hmm.
a person is going to study there, how
Okay.
much time they have spent in that course, and all these things.
Hmm. And when we talk about these universities, which are these nine, so these are the TU9, right?
Yes, sir.
So these are among these 17s, but they are separate because of the collaboration and all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we can say they are the very good universities of Germany.
Yes, sir. In short, we can say
Okay,
these are the best technical universities in Germany.
okay. Now, Ajinkya, how many universities did you apply and from where you got the selection? And you must be waiting some for more selections also.
Sir, so till now I have applied in 4 courses.
Hmm.
And so the first in my priority was RWD's Aachen indeed, because it was
Okay,
offering me automotive engineering MSc.
okay,
So that is high up in my priority. Then
okay,
I applied to Esslingen University of Applied Science.
okay,
In that, I applied for the course Automotive Systems.
okay,
Then I applied to the FAU Erlangen Nuremberg in Electromobility MSc. So that is the
okay,
course in which I got the admit. And another course which I applied for was TU Hamburg. It is a course named Mechanical Engineering and Management.
Okay.
So that was a backup course which I meant to apply. If I don't get an automotive course, I will apply some backup courses and see how it goes.
Okay.
So these four I have applied till now.
Okay. So when you are going there for MS, have you learned the language, German language, or is it required, or everything is in English?
So for my course, actually, I can choose two major courses. So this electromobility courses is offering four major options. One is AI and autonomous driving. Another is connectivity. Then there is e-powertrain, and then there's sustainable mobility and production. So in each one of them, there are multiple courses in English and multiple courses in German, and there are some courses which are in both the languages as well. You can study in either one of the language. So I myself have selected all the courses which I'll be studying in purely English language.
Okay.
And I have mentioned that thing in my application that I want to study in English language, so I didn't have to prove German proficiency. But sir, to answer the second part of the question, I have started learning German actually, because specifically to survive in mechanical industry, you have to learn German. I asked so many people who are already student in Germany in maybe first year, second year, or actually are working there. And they're saying if you want to work in mechanical industry, you have to work on the shop floor, and people there definitely won't know English. So you need to strengthen your German.
It is similar to in India, no? Like you can survive within IIT with English language, but outside IIT system, if you want to survive in industry, real industry, then obviously you need to know other languages also, like Hindi or something like that. So it is, I believe, similar to that also. So that means German language learning is not prerequisite to get admission or do the course, but if you want to do good in a career there, then I think German language is important. That is what I understood.
One more thing, sir. Most of the courses, what they write is that German language, not mandatory, but it will boost your application. It will help your case.
Yes.
So I have not provided German language certificate anywhere. But if I had time, the one thing which I would do was learn German language certificate, get the Goethe certificate, and apply it to increase my chances. So that is one.
Oh, good point. So that was my next point. Like, suppose third year, final year, second year student is listening to you, and he has decided that I would like to go to RWTH. As you said, automobile course is very good there. I would like to go there. He has still time. As you said, I was not having time. I was in job and all, but now he has a time. So, what best route you will suggest him? I mean, he should go for German language first, and how he should go proceed forward.
So if he's in, because see, German language, English language, IELTS, GRE, this can be done later. If he is in college, in second or third year specifically, what I'll suggest those people is strengthen your profile, because the letter of motivation and CV plays the majority of role. As you talked about RWTH Aachen, I asked people who are already studying there that what made you selected, what made your profile stand out to them. So they said that they had few awards maybe, then they had few publications. So these are the things you need to stand out for in the university which are top in that particular country.
Yes.
So they should maybe get internship in the related field. They should do projects as much as possible. They should go for the BTech project, the undergraduate thesis in the field which they want to pursue, if they are very much clear about the field.
So a couple of things like this, yeah, internships and projects and all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Strengthening the profile. And then apart from that, they can definitely go for, if they have time, go for the IELTS, the language certificate. They should go for the GRE and start learning German slowly.
So for Jinky, for these German universities, do they need GRE score in any of the technical university? Is that required?
So there are 2-3 different kind of scenarios. I'll explain all of them. So first is like RWTH Aachen or TU Munich. They require GRE scores definitely. So in that universities, you cannot apply without the GRE score. Even if you have, for example, GATE, it doesn't matter. You have to submit GRE score. Then I'll talk about my university, FA Erlangen Nuremberg, and there are many of these kind. What they say is that you don't have to for sure provide GRE, but provide any aptitude test which is accepted worldwide. So there is option for GRE General, GRE Physics, GRE Maths. There is option for any GATE exam which is you have written in engineering and you have passed. So you can provide that score. So in FAO, I have provided my GRE score. In Aachen also, I have provided my GRE score. And then there are third kind of universities which, like this, they say very clearly that don't submit GRE score or anything like that. We don't require it, and we won't judge you based on it.
Okay. But this language is required, else is required.
Yes, sir, that is mandatory required. There are very
Mm,
few courses, and those are not in a very prestigious universities. So they may give you the benefit that you have studied in English language if you provide a certificate that my bachelor's
mm,
were completely in English language. So they may
mm,
consider it. But
mm,
but later on the later stage for the visa application, you need IELTS anyway. So IELTS
mm,
or TOEFL one has to give
mm.
mandatory.
Okay. Now, I think I'm coming to very, very important question, and that is, uh, Germany used to be a very, popular destination as far as higher education craze among Indian students was concerned. Then, public universities used to not used to charge anything for the fees, and they used to free.
Yes, sir.
But now, public university have started charging the fees. What difference has it brought? And now is Germany as popular as earlier it was? And what is the difference now which has come?
Sir, initially when I came to know that they are introducing fees because unfortunately when I started applying they introduced the fees. So this is for the first time. So I was also a bit shocked. I was like, okay, why this is happening?
Mm,
But when I compare, for example, the maximum fees I have seen in MSc course I am talking about. There are some MBA courses which are quite expensive, but
yeah.
MSc course if I talk about in RWTH Aachen, TU Munich, TU Berlin they are charging 6,000 euros per semester.
Mm-hmm.
So it costs around 24 lakhs for 2 year program for Indian student. So when we compare it to the other countries, be it US, be it UK, be it Australia, be it Canada, the tuition fees you are paying is still much less. And but one more there's one more perspective I'll put in this that if you find a similar course which is in a good university which is not in maybe TU Munich but is in some other good university which is not charging fees, then you should think about like maybe I will not spend the money. But if you want that course, if you are getting that course and you are like very much determined, you are not getting that course in any other university, any other course, then you should pay that fees because the return on investment is very high in these universities. The
Mm-hmm.
name matters to a certain extent, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So ultimately, what matters is the return on your investment, right?
Yes, sir.
And it is gonna give you good dividend if you choose the right university. Mm.
Yes, sir.
I also heard that there are so many scholarships, Ajinkya, in Germany, and in fact, I'll again share with you my own screen if I can do that. And I
Yes, sir.
was again looking for the scholarships available in Germany, and I saw obviously everybody will see that DARD is one of the scholarship, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
Maximum people think of DARD and it gives the scholarship, but then DARD is not the only scholarship. I started reading it, and then I started reading after DART. I started reading that there are some other scholarships also. There are other categories also, and then I started reading this where it was written that there are so many scholarships, and different scholarships are there in Germany. If a student gets selected in universities some Germany, then they can even aspire for these kind of scholarships. So that means even scholarships you can get for other, like that other than that there are 20 more scholarship organizations that finance thousands of students in Germany universities and all. So I would
Yes, sir.
like to ask you, like, what is the scholarship ecosystem in Germany? You said okay, 24 lakh and plus your living expenditure will also be there. Now please tell
Yes, sir.
me in very clear terms, like for Indian students, कितना पैसा जेब में चाहिए for 2 years, एंड दैट इज लिविंग एंड फीस, एंड अगर स्कॉलरशिप भी मिलता है तो सिनेरियो क्या है, वट एवर यू नो, या
Sir, first I'll answer the first part, the scholarship part. Actually, what we are used to hearing that scholarship अगर मिल रही है, for example, US में scholarship मिल रही है, तो वो ट्यूशन फीस पे स्कॉलरशिप देते हैं. जर्मनी में वो ट्यूशन फीस पे स्कॉलरशिप नहीं देते हैं, बिकॉज स्पेसिफिकली उनका वो मेंशन करके रखते हैं कि जो ट्यूशन फीस है वो नॉन यूरोपियन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. So we won't give any scholarship on this. So these organizations like DARD and Deutschland Stipendium, these are giving you scholarship in general to sustain yourself in Germany. So
Okay.
these are giving maybe 300, 400, or sometimes even 1,000 euro per month.
Okay.
With it, you can spend it on your living expense, you can spend it on your studies, or you can spend it to pay your fees. That depends upon you. So this is the first clarification. Then second, some of the money part which you asked. Firstly, while applying, I'll say, so in general, if you go for IELTS or TOEFL, you need 18,000. Another 18,000 for GRE. I am assuming that we are giving all the tests. Then another 18,000 for the APS certificate, which is mandatory for application from now onwards. Then another, if you are applying through VPD, then there is another 7,000. And if you go for some coaching or something for the preparing for the exams, so overall, I will say that 1 lakh rupees you should have while applying.
Okay.
Then, sir, living expense there. So
Every
living
application in
expense.
university will also cost you something, right? Every application in the university.
So not every application. Actually,
Okay.
there are some universities in which you have to apply on the university portal. So they are mostly free.
Okay.
In the universities, you have to apply through UniAssist or VPD through UniAssist. Then you have to pay the fees, which is 70 euro for the first time, and then 30 euro for the consecutive. Okay, sir. So the expenditure part, then I will come to the living expense. So I'll give example for Erlangen city because I'll be going there. So I have researched a bit. So in Erlangen, I have to spend 650 to 700 euro per month for the living expense. Like it will cover house rent, then it will cover health insurance, it will cover groceries and everything which is needed. So that if I calculate as 700 euros for 2 years, it will cost around 16 to 17 lakh. If you go in a city which is quite expensive, like Munich or Berlin, it may also go up to 800 or 900 euro per month. So 20 to 21 lakh. So I will say that considering the highest possible case, for living expense, you need to have at least 20, 22 lakh rupees with you for the living part. And then if you get the scholarship, or there's also option for the student job, the internships which you do, you'll get paid in them as well. So then the cost can be cut down. But this much money you should be prepared for paying. And then there's the concept of blocked account. So while applying for the visa, I had to show that I have 11,200 euros in a particular block. I have blocked that particular money. I have paid that myself. I have blocked that particular money. That this money I can use to survive at least 1 year in Germany. And then later on, when I go for the visa renewal in that country, then according to my situation, my current job, which I'll be doing there, and the remaining money in my blocked account, if it is any money is remaining there, they'll decide that how much amount I have to again block in the block account.
Okay. So that total amount, how much you have to block in your accounts? So how much you said?
That is 11,200. So it is 11 lakhs Indian rupees.
Okay. So now if I'm to add it up, like fees plus living, you said living expenditure can be 20 lakh and fees also you said almost 20 lakh, I suppose, right?
24 lakh if it is
So
if we get the
overall
highest
it is a
possible case.
40 lakh, 40 lakh in Germany
Yes, sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
So now can students also do work along with the studies, Ajinkya, or they can get scholarship? How much can we reduce now out of 40 lakh?
Okay, so out of 40 lakhs, if you choose the courses which have less tuition fees, because for example, some colleges have introduced 6,000 euros per semester, but there's a particular state, Baden-Württemberg. It has said that they will charge fees 1,500 euros per month.
Okay.
For example, my course, it is free of course. It is still not charging any tuition fees.
Okay.
So in that case, I have to pay only semester contribution, which is 67 euro per semester.
Okay.
So in just 6,000 rupees, technically I'll be done with the that only money I have to pay to the college. And so
Mm-hmm.
then living part. So living part, if I'll say, there are two options. You get the scholarship. So
Mm-hmm.
scholarship, the very basic scholarship which many people can easily get is Deutschland Stipendium. So
Mm-hmm.
that is 300 euros per month.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you are still spending 700 euros, 800 euros, you can at least save 300 euros and then they will pay that part. Then the job which we can do, the student job. So that we
Mm-hmm.
can do in technical field as well. We can do teacher assistantship. We can do research assistantship. We can
Mm-hmm.
also do part-time job in maybe some warehouse, maybe
Mm-hmm.
some other food delivering place, and there are a lot of options.
Okay.
So in
Mm-hmm.
that, there's few regulations that you
Mm-hmm.
cannot work more than 20 hours per week
Okay.
as a student. On student visa, 20 hours per week is only allowed. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's a concept which is very beautiful in Germany, that is the minimum wage. So
Mm-hmm.
you get 12.4 euros per hour. Whichever company you works, whichever work you do, no matter how easy that is, how tough that is, you will at least get 12.4. And that is it, like this is going to increase to 12.8.
Mm-hmm.
So if we like do the very basic calculation, 12.8 into 20
Mm-hmm.
per week. So for
Mm-hmm.
1 month, I can easily earn up to 1,000 euros.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that can easily cover my expense. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
initially 1 2 months, like I was inquiring, and people told me that you should take at least 3 months to
Mm-hmm.
adapt to the things,
Mm-hmm.
focus on studies, focus on trying to establish yourself in the country, and then go for
Mm-hmm.
student job. So
Okay.
then a person can easily sustain himself.
Okay. Mm. So eventually, you said that your fees is not there, and then you may earn 1,000 euro per month. So eventually, Ajinkya, how much total net पे कितना पैसा लगा या नहीं लगा?
सर नेट पे मैंने मतलब बहुत प्रैक्टिकल, मतलब जीरो तो बहुत ज्यादा वो हो गया सर। जीरो अगर मैं बोलूंगा तो इट इज वेरी फार फेच्ड, बिकॉज यू विल डू
हम्म
एक्सपेंस आउट ऑफ योर रेगुलर, यू विल गो फॉर ट्रिप में बी, यू विल बाय
हम्म
समथिंग, सो इट में हैपन। सो मैंने
हम्म
सुना है कि लोगों का जो ब्लॉक्ड अकाउंट है उसमें से
हम्म
वो शुरू में 5 6 लाख तक खर्च करते हैं, 11 लाख में से। एंड
हम्म
देन दे कम टू द पॉइंट देन दे आर सेल्फ सस्टेनिंग एट एनी कॉस्ट।
हम्म
सो सर
सो दैट
पाँच
मीन्स
छह
इन
लाख
5-6 लाख में मतलब एमएस किया जा सकता है।
हाँ सर, किया जा सकता है।
वंडरफुल। अच्छा, आपने एक पॉइंट बताया जिनके विच आई कुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाई देयर इज नो फीस फॉर यू।
Okay, so it depends on my university, and this is maybe fortunately it is not for me, but in some universities still they are not, in public universities they are not charging fees. Actually,
ओके।
sir, there are very few who are charging fees. What like it is a very big news because when initially like we talk to someone who doesn't know anything about Germany, what he knows is TU Munich, what he knows is RWJ,
यस।
तो जब सर बड़े बड़े यूनिवर्सिटीज जब ऐसा कुछ स्टेप लेते हैं ना, तो उसका बात बहुत बड़ी बन जाती है। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, इंडिया में अगर आईआईटी दिल्ली, आईआईटी बॉम्बे कुछ स्टेप लेता है तो वो बहुत ज्यादा न्यूज में आ जाता है। बट 90 95 90% अभी भी कुछ नहीं चार्ज कर रहे हैं, सो
सही
दैट
है।
नीड्स टू बी अंडरस्टैंड।
बिल्कुल सही है। जैसे कई जगह मैं फॉर्म भर रहे हैं बच्चे आजकल, तो कई जगह हर कोर्स का अलग फॉर्म भरना पड़ेगा, और हर
हाँ सर।
फॉर्म की कॉस्ट 1,000 रुपीज है। बट देन वी हैव इंस्टीट्यूट्स जहां 200 रुपए का फॉर्म है, उसमें 9 प्रोग्राम्स यू कैन फिल इट अप। सो ह्यूज
यस सर,
वेरिएशन फ्रॉम वन आईआईटी टू अनदर आईआईटी आल्सो। सो आई
एग्जैक्टली,
कैन
यस
मेक
सर।
सेंस नाउ व्हाट यू सेड। बट ये बहुत अच्छा पॉजिटिव चीज है अजिंक्य, दैट इन 5-6 lakhs rupees you can do masters in Germany. So that is something which is very very motivational for those students who may not or who fear कि हमारा पैसा बहुत ज्यादा लग जाएगा तो हम नहीं जा पाएंगे, because this is one of the mental blocks in students, capable students in India, that okay, इतना ज्यादा पैसा, how shall we spend this much money, and we can't do that. Now I'm coming to next part, that suppose जो 11 लाख शुरू में देना है अजिंक्य, अकाउंट में चाहिए जो भी
हाँ
है,
सर।
in India, suppose students say that my parents can't have even afford that much, मेरे पास उतना पैसा भी नहीं है,
यस सर।
तो इसका कुछ हो सकता है क्या अल्टरनेट, कि मेरे पास कोई पैसा नहीं है, अभी बताओ कैसे कर सकते
हाँ सर, सर लोन के थ्रू इजीली कर सकते हैं ये।
हैं, टैक्स दे देते हैं।
हाँ सर, लोन, सो देर आर मतलब दो टाइप की चीजें होती हैं। अगर ट्यूशन फीस नहीं है और सिर्फ लॉक्ड अकाउंट में पैसा डालना है, तो
हम्म,
11 लाख रुपीज लोन आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द बैंक्स विल प्रोवाइड विदाउट मॉर्टगेज। तो उसमें अपने को कुछ लाइक वी डोंट हैव टू प्रोवाइड पेपर्स ऑफ एनी वैल्यूएबल एसेट वी हैव इन लाइफ, तो
हम्म,
उसमें लोन मिल जाएगा। एंड देयर इज अनदर ऑप्शन जिसमें आप ब्लॉक्ड अकाउंट प्लस ट्यूशन फीस का साथ में लोन उठा सकते हो, एंड देन ऑल्सो लाइक बैंक्स विल प्रोवाइड इजीली, सो लोन इज ऑलवेज एन ऑप्शन।
सो लोन मिल जाता है और जा सकते हैं बच्चे। हम्म।
हाँ सर।
Okay. Now coming to next part, Ajinkya, if I start preparing for Germany today, कितना टाइम लगता है इस पूरी प्रोसेस को कंप्लीट करने में? और आपने एक टर्म यूज किया, मैं उसको पूछना भूल गया आपसे, एपीएस आपने एक टर्म यूज किया, जो
हाँ सर।
एपीएस सर्टिफिकेट बनता है। प्लीज टेल अबाउट एपीएस सर्टिफिकेट ऑल्सो टू स्टूडेंट्स। ये क्या चीज है और कब बनवा लेना चाहिए? बिकॉज माई मेंटर्स, ग्लोबल मेंटर टोल्ड मी कि बच्चों को बोलो कि ये पहले बनवा लें क्योंकि इसमें डिले होता है। तो व्हाट इज एपीएस सर्टिफिकेट?
Okay, sir. So APS certificate, it is the German term, Academic Prüfstelle, which means academic evaluations document, certificate.
ओके।
तो सर ये जर्मन एम्बेसी देता है, उसकी जर्मन जर्मन एम्बेसी की एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रांच है एकेडमिक इवैल्यूएशन सेंटर, वो ये प्रोवाइड करता है, एंड इट वेरीफाइज जो मेरा ट्वेल्थ का रिजल्ट है, जो मेरा बैचलर्स का रिजल्ट है, कि लाइक इट इज गुड इनफ टू स्टडी इन जर्मनी एंड इट इज वैलिड टू बी स्टडीइंग मास्टर्स कोर्स इन जर्मनी।
ओके।
तो सर ये पहले मतलब एप्लीकेशन करना होता है, इनका अलग से एकेडमिक इवैल्यूएशन सेंटर पे एप्लीकेशन करना होता है, फिर एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म डाउनलोड करके प्रिंट करके और बाकी सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स को फिजिकली दिल्ली एकेडमिक इवैल्यूएशन सेंटर पे मेल उनको बाय पोस्ट भेजना होता है, एंड देन दे प्रोवाइड यू दिस एपीएस सर्टिफिकेट।
ओके।
तो सर दिस लाइक द पॉइंट विच यू सेड लेटर कि टाइम लग रहा है एंड सबसे पहले करना चाहिए, आई एम वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस। सो mostly people are getting in 45 days. I got in 2.5 months.
ओ।
So it got delayed a lot, and I got on the 1st March in the morning, and 1st March was the deadline for TU Hamburg. So I
ओके।
barely made it. So like I'm the example which people should take, and I
हम्म,
didn't listen. I didn't apply it earlier. I should have applied. तो सही कहते हैं सर, लाइक आई हैव सीन सयम सर से इन फ्यू वीडियोस कि as soon as you plan for Germany, apply for APS certificate because you have bachelor's degree anyway, you have 12 certificate anyway, you don't need any extra things for that. So apply for it.
now, in India we know admission season, there are two admission seasons. अभी
Yes, sir.
मार्च अप्रैल मई जून में एडमिशन होता है मेजोरिटी यूनिवर्सिटीज में। सो 90% ऑफ द एडमिशंस आर ड्यूरिंग दिस कपल ऑफ मंथ्स, जिसमें बच्चा स्टार्ट करता है मार्च से, वो गेट एग्जाम निकलता है एंड एवरीथिंग। फिर विंटर में एडमिशन होता है, अक्टूबर से फॉर्म्स आना स्टार्ट होते हैं, दिसंबर तक चलता है। व्हाट इज
हाँ
द
सर।
सिचुएशन इन जर्मनी? कब एडमिशन होता है और कब हम उसके लिए तैयारी कर सकते हैं?
तो सर जर्मनी में दो इंटेक्स होते हैं, विंटर इंटेक, समर इंटेक। विंटर इंटेक की जो डेडलाइन होती है, विच इज विंटर इंटेक स्टार्ट होता है सर अक्टूबर से, क्लासेस स्टार्ट हो जाती
ओके।
है। तो विंटर इंटेक की डेडलाइन है 15 जुलाई।
अच्छा।
समर इंटेक की क्लासेस स्टार्ट होती हैं अप्रैल से,
ओके।
और समर इंटेक की डेडलाइन है 15 जनवरी। बट
हम्म।
सर दिस इज अ वेरी लाइक, ये बहुत ऊपर से कहने की चीज है, बिकॉज मेनी कॉलेजेस हैव देयर पर्टिकुलर डेडलाइंस, दे हैव देयर पर्सनल डेडलाइंस। सो हर कॉलेज के पोर्टल पे यू हैव टू स्पेसिफिकली चेक कि उसकी क्या डेडलाइन है। जैसे RWTH आखिर की डेडलाइन 1 मार्च है, TU म्यूनिक की 31 मई है, जो मेरा कोर्स है FAU और लंदन न्यूनबर्ग में, उसकी 31 मई अगेन। और कुछ कॉलेज हैं जो 15 जुलाई तक भी एप्लीकेशन एक्सेप्ट करते हैं। So this has to be considered. And similarly, this is separately for summer intake as well. And one thing which is that winter intake has more courses available by the university. Summer में उतने courses available नहीं होते हैं. So that's why most people go for winter intake.
ओके। अच्छा, अगर अभी आप जानते हैं स्टूडेंट्स अप्लाई कर रहा है इंडिया में, और वो कई बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं जिनको फिर लगता है कि नहीं सब हमें अब्रॉड चले जाना है, अब इंडिया में हमारा कुछ बन नहीं रहा है, हमें जो चाहिए वो नहीं मिल रहा है। जैसे आपने एग्जांपल दिया कि मेरा गेट अच्छा नहीं हुआ सपोज, और मेरे को ई मोबिलिटी में जाना था, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल में जाना था, टेस्ला आ रहा है, मेरे को जॉब करनी है, और मेरे को यहाँ कुछ कोर्स नहीं मिल रहा, मेरे को जाना है बाहर। तो
हाँ सर।
इफ स्टूडेंट डिसाइड नाउ towards the end of April also, can he start his preparation for Germany, and can he get into German universities if he starts in April?
So definitely he can get, but in my opinion, he should target the summer intake in 2025 rather than winter 24 intake.
Okay.
Because
Mm.
if he decides today, he has to apply for APS certificate. He has to
Mm.
give exams like IELTS, GRE, and it needs preparation.
Yes.
Because then he needs time for a letter of motivation, CV preparation as well. Then
Mhm.
he needs time for getting a letter of recommendation from his professor.
Mm-hmm.
You also need time for getting other documents from college, because there are very much like very detailed documents German universities require, which mostly Indian colleges may not provide. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
one called document called module description,
Mm-hmm.
करिकुलम एनालिसिस जिसको बोलते हैं, तो वो इंडियन कॉलेजेस इजीली प्रोवाइड नहीं करते, मेरे को भी अपने
Mm-hmm.
कॉलेज से बनवा के फिर सील करवाना पड़ा. सो
Mm-hmm.
ऑल दिस विल टेक टाइम. सो जल्दी जल्दी में अप्लाई करना फॉर द विंटर इनटेक, and then
Okay.
getting into not the university which you might have gotten, which you deserve. I will like suggest the person should go for the 25 summer intake.
Okay, wonderful. So that is a good idea, and I'm sure students will listen to that. I think now coming to post graduation opportunities, I'm sure आपने
Yes, sir.
एनालिसिस किया होगा इसका कि जब वहां से आपका मास्टर्स हो जाएगा तो अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या है वहां पे. दिस इज द अनदर थिंग इन द माइंड ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. पहला होता है पैसे का, दूसरा होता है मैं कर भी लूं इतना पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर दूं तो बाद में मेरे को क्या मिलेगा.
तो सर लाइक ए सेट इंडस्ट्रीज तो बहुत है वहां पे.
हम्म.
लाइक
हम्म.
देयर आर द ओईएम है वहां पे. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट ऑटोमोटिव सेक्टर, ओईएम्स बहुत हैं. देन
हम्म.
द कंपनीज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पार्ट्स फॉर ओईएम भी हैं.
हम्म.
Then there are other smaller startups and companies as well. And
हम्म.
then there's an option for PhD as well. If you go after MSc, you can go for PhD.
हम्म. हम्म.
Then, sir, if I talk about the job
हम्म.
में सर ऐसा है कि there's always an option to do master thesis with the industry. Like
हम्म.
I can request the company that I
हम्म.
want to do my master thesis
हम्म.
along with you. So I don't have to
हम्म.
specifically do master's thesis किसी प्रोफेसर के अंडर. I
हम्म.
can do with the collaboration with the industry, is with a
हम्म.
company. And if that company like my works, if they are
हम्म.
convinced, they may hire me
हम्म.
as well.
हम्म.
Then I will be doing student job in a company as well. So
हम्म.
that company can also hire me for the job. Then
हम्म.
I'll like in my course, first semester में एक internship है 10 ECTS की.
ओके.
तो वो internship मेरे को सर technically करनी है.
हम्म.
अब if I get to internship in first year, मेरे connections बढ़ेंगे.
हम्म.
तो मैं जॉब के लिए इजीली उनको कन्विंस कर सकता हूँ कि सी आई हैव डन इंटर्नशिप. देन आई
हम्म.
विल कन्विंस देम कि मेरे को स्टूडेंट जॉब दे दो, जो 20 घंटे पर वीक कर सकते हैं, मेरे को वो दे
हम्म.
दो. देन इफ आई एम लाइकिंग द वर्क एंड इफ आई एम कन्विंस्ड, दे आर कन्विंस्ड, इट इज गोइंग वेल, आई कैन ऑल्सो डू थीसिस विद देम. And then with all this experience, it will be very easier for me to grab the job. And
ओके.
then always there's the one condition that you have to learn German in this process, because
ओके.
German is the requirement.
ऑब्वियसली. वो जॉब मिलना कोई ट्रबल नहीं है. दे विल गेट, स्टूडेंट्स विल गेट इट इफ दे पुट एफर्ट, दे विल गेट इट.
Yes, sir. Effort is very important. Then they'll get it.
Wonderful. So Ajinkya, I think these were the queries point and discussion points which I was having in my mind when I, started my interaction. And I
Yes, sir.
believe this is a very, very extensive interactive session जिसमें
Yes, sir.
जितनी इंफॉर्मेशन स्टूडेंट को चाहिए उनको आपने प्रोवाइड की है. एनीथिंग विच आई मस्ट हैव लेफ्ट एंड इट कम्स टू योर माइंड अजिंक्य, कि कुछ छूट गया हो जो स्टूडेंट्स को हमें बताना है या जो उनको बताएं हम. I think we have covered most of the points, or something is left.
Yes, sir. I'll sum up very few basic points.
हाँ जी.
मतलब like which a person should focus. कि जर्मनी या कहीं भी अब्रॉड जाने से पहले अपने आप से 2-3 सवाल पूछ लेना कि
हम्म.
why, what, when and where. कि
हम्म.
कब करना है मास्टर्स, एक्चुअली 1 साल एक्सपीरियंस, 2 साल एक्सपीरियंस, कहाँ
हम्म.
करना है, बिकॉज कंट्री
हम्म.
मेरा जर्मनी है. यू मे गेट समथिंग वेरी अमेजिंग इन यूएस, तुम वहां कर लो.
हम्म.
क्या करना है, कौन सा कोर्स करना है, बस यूं ही उठ के नहीं जाना है. और
हम्म.
क्यों करना है. आई हैड माई रीजंस कि मेरे को इंडिया में वो चीज नहीं मिली जो मिल रही थी. बट
हम्म.
बस जाना बाहर इसलिए, दैट इज नॉट अ थिंग. सो आस्क
हम्म.
योरसेल्फ दिस क्वेश्चन.
हम्म.
एंड देन आई विल से वन थिंग लाइक कि देर आर मेनी सर वीडियोज अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन which are saying that you can get admission with no IELTS, with low CGPA. Like, I know this is very practical thing to say, but
हम्म.
try to give as much as possible. Give GRE.
Yes.
You never know when
Yes.
it will be useful. Give
Yes.
IELTS, get better score. Even I
हम्म.
will say learn German language, because some
हम्म.
courses are requiring that as well.
हम्म.
So put your effort, it will definitely be worth it. And
हम्म.
if I'll compare with the scenario in India, GATE and exams like CAT require a lot of effort, sir.
हम्म.
MS abroad is a little tricky. You need उसमें
Different kind
ऐसा
of
दिमाग
approach.
ज्यादा खपता है.
हम्म.
But you don't need to work hard that much. You need to work
हम्म.
smart and you will be fine with it. So these are a few things, and then a person is good to.
Very, very nicely said. Bache, Ajinkya, you already know. Students keep on preparing for exams like GATE for years after years after years, and I know 4 5 years से GATE लगा रहे हैं, and they're chasing that hypothetical GATE score, which will fetch them a good master's program in IITs, little realizing that world is out there. I mean, there's so many
Yes, sir.
universities, और आपको अपने ईयर स्किल करने की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, बिकॉज आई स्ट्रांगली बिलीव 1 year of youth which you guys are, and that is far more precious than this money and
Yes,
everything.
sir.
So वो ईयर्स वेस्ट नहीं करने चाहिए. आप जाओ और उसके बाद आप मास्टर्स करेंगे, उसके बाद आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी, एंड आई एम वेरी श्योर यू डू वंडरफुल इन योर करियर. वो
Yes, sir.
नहीं होना चाहिए ना कि हम बस पीएसयू हमने देखा है तो हमारे लिए वही एक अपर लिमिट हो गया कि उसके बियॉन्ड दुनिया नहीं है. अगर मेरे को पीएसयू मिलेगा तो मतलब आई एम सक्सेसफुल इन माई करियर, अगर नहीं मिलेगा आई एम अ फेलियर इन माई
There should
करियर.
be
सो
option.
दैट ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में नहीं होना चाहिए. In fact,
Yes, sir. Yes,
I when I interact, I get the opportunity. Being a teacher, I get the opportunity to interact with different kind of students. Those who are
yes, sir.
in India, those who are abroad. एंड मेरे को ये स्ट्रांगली लगता है कि क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ में जितना ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तुम्हारा एक्सपोजर से होता है ना, अलग अलग कल्चर में जाके,
Yes,
अलग
sir.
अलग कंट्रीज में जाके, उतना कहीं नहीं होता. मतलब सपोज आई एम
I agree,
फ्रॉम
sir.
महाराष्ट्र एंड आई स्टे एंटायर लाइफ इन महाराष्ट्र. So my personality will evolve in a one way. Suppose I am from Maharashtra, but I spend time in Uttar Pradesh, in Tamil Nadu, personality will be different. But suppose I am from Maharashtra, but I go to entire world, personality will be different. So exposure is something which really helps. Because now you will go to Germany, you will find people from all over world there. वो चीज जो है ना, वो
Yes, sir.
आपको उसका पीछे चेज करना चाहिए. वो आपको रियल डेवलपमेंट देता है और एक्सपोजर आपको सिखाता है. दिस इज समथिंग विच इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
Sir, actually, I'm a Maharashtrian and I have been born and brought up in MP. So I have a
Okay.
mix of two things. So I know already three languages. Now, a fourth one I'm going. So let's see how that happens.
That's wonderful, Ajinkya. So let me now wind up this entire session, Ajinkya, by
Yes, sir.
thanking you first. बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में आपने बताया, पेशेंस के साथ बताया सब कुछ, एंड दिस वीडियो विल बिकम अ रेफरेंस वीडियो फॉर दोज हु आर एस्पायरिंग टू गो टू जर्मनी, बिकॉज मेरे ख्याल से इस वीडियो में आपने सब कुछ बता दिया है. दैट इज वेरी
Yes,
गुड.
sir.
एंड द सेकंड, आई विश यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर योर एकेडमिक
Thank you so
career
much, sir.
ahead in Germany. And I make sequel with my students. So this is one when you are going there now. Second, after some years, 1 or 2 years, when you're there, when you complete it, I'll make a second sequel. Then after a
Sure,
couple
sir.
of years, when you will be in your career, I'll make the third sequel. So that no, एक life का हमें पता लगे कि this is the trajectory of a typical person who goes to this kind of choose this kind of path. This is the trajectory.
Sure,
That
sir.
is what I will do. So again,
Sure,
thank
sir.
you, Ajinkya, for your time and all the very best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.